a few people have been asking me, how do I get started? What should I use? What should I start off with? How can I do this thing? And I'm like, first figure out kind of who you are and what kind of strategy and what kind of risk level is best for you. Some people are more set it and forget it. Some people are very active and very good at watching and figure out the trends and all that. So that's a different kind of strategy for you. Figure out what's best for you and stick to that. Hello, everybody, and welcome to YBI, where we talk about opinions, ways, and strategies to grow your financial self and means. Is Roman and Zion here? How you feeling?
Living my best life, brother. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Let's see what we
Cool.
got going on with the people today.
I mean, today is going to be pretty lax. I feel like we've been hitting them with a lot of different stuff, and today we're just going to touch on the market within itself. We want to wrap up some things, give you guys an update on where we're at with the saving strategies, our savings plans, just some things that we got going on that we want to keep you guys informed on. And yeah, so this ain't gonna be too long. But yeah, let's hop right in. I guess we can start with the saving strategy update. So, how you feel like you've been doing with your saving strategy for 21?
On track. Everything's been on the saving strategies I've been set with. I've been doing the dollar each week and the $10 a day. Both are on track, both setting on their ways, and going good with them.
Yes,
What
sir.
about you?
So, I forgot what strategy I was doing. It was the 5 cents a day, right?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah,
You've
it
been
was
doing
five
that one.
cents a day.
You don't even know,
Um,
y'all. You don't even know.
he doesn't know because I
He
add
doesn't
more than
know.
that. Yeah,
Referring
I
to
am he.
yourself.
He is me and I. Um, None of us know because I add more than that. But it's going well. It's going well. I took like $60 for an investment last week. So I made an investment last week from my savings from that account, but then replaced it. So
What
just so
did you
you guys
invest it
know,
into?
so investment in self. It was an investment in self. What did I buy? I bought part of an index fund. I wanted to put a little bit more into an index fund, so I did that.
Okay.
And then I want to say that I bought some food. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wanted to put like 200 or whatever into an index fund, so I did that. But I only needed like 60 more because all of this is based off of how much I'm getting paid, right? So every time my check fluctuates, I have to be able to still put the same amount into an index fund and however much I'm going to be saving and all that stuff. So obviously, I didn't want to pull that from like the emergency fund. So I pulled from the savings, considering that I was putting more than I was supposed to in there. And then I was hungry. So I did those two things. But this Friday, I get paid again. So I'll end up putting more plus what I need to put back. So that's what I did. Put a little bit towards the index fund and put a little bit in my body.
And I know we talked about this before, but I know some people feel some different ways. And of course, before you make any like decisions like that, I guess always kind of consult with whatever financial advisor you kind of want to do. But moving money around or assets around is still saving it, even if you move some of your savings from to an index fund or a CD or IRA. It may have different access points or how you can liquidate it or things like that, but that's perfectly fine. Index funds are solid investments that have been proven to be long-term places of holding value and growing it. So that is a good way to move an avenue of money.
Absolutely. I was literally just talking to my girlfriend the other day. She said that she just finished paying off one of her student loans. Congratulations to you, girl. Proud of you. But she was like, "What am I supposed to do with this extra money?" And she was like, "It's an additional like 100 to 300 $300 a month." That she was like, "What am I supposed to do with this now?" And we literally walked through. Because last week we talked about CDs, and I was like, "Well, you can look at a CD." We looked at CDs. We looked at the money market accounts. We looked at
Yeah.
index funds. We looked at like 4 or 5 different things. That way, I was like, you don't necessarily want, you can move your money around, but since this is, I want you to be able to grow that, right? So we sat down and we looked at different credit unions versus different banks and what the current APR is for, or APY is for her savings account. And I was like, if you take 10,000 from that account and you move it over here, you're gonna get, you know, 0.4% interest instead of 0.01% interest. So obviously you can do that, but it only works for up to $10,000. So you can't move $10,001, or you're not going to end up getting the same kind of thing. So um,
Just
moving
looking
money
at
is,
all the options, looking at all the
yeah,
options and figuring out, which, where's your soldiers or your army or your money's going to work the hardest for you and earn where you want it to. It's
yeah.
fun.
So the saving strategy has been going well. It's continuing to go up. I've had more and more expenses as of late. Just I've been staying at a lot of hotels, so trying to figure out what the move is in terms of doing that. I've been told, oh yeah, you know, they said, hey, we have a better rate down here because you're part of this group. But Priceline was still $30 cheaper than that current rate. So they're like, well, you can accumulate points. But I'm like, if I'm spending the equivalent of what the free room is I'm going to get, it's not really worth it. They're like, well, you can get a
Yeah.
credit card and you can do this. And I was like, that's a hit on your credit. I was like, just pay for it.
Yeah.
So, you know, moving money is a thing that you're going to have to do because a lot of different things come up. We got medical bills, we've got, you know, taxes that we have to pay, we've got this, that, and the third. You know, life changes, life happens. So when you're doing that, don't feel bad if you have to take money from, you know, somewhere, as long as you have the ability to put it back, and as long as you're not touching your emergency fund for real. But if you're, you know, pulling a little bit here and there from
Yep.
your savings to do other things, invest in self, all that stuff, it's okay.
I think that kind of segues and just kind of, especially looking at the overall market as kind of as we even rotate to this kind of first quarter of 2021 and different things that we kind of got going on in that facet. So we've seen a lot of things in the market as of lately in a few different industries of the market, materials, precious metals, everything's been kind of getting boosted up and down kind of from this growth in social media and retail investing and things like that. Where does that kind of do and where kind of you can put your money and things like that? What's the move right now? That's kind of what everyone's been asking, is where to go, what to do, and kind of how to capitalize the most in this kind of market. um to be
I
honest,
think
is
that for
go ahead.
for me, the move is consistency. Wherever you're at, be consistent with it because everybody wanted to hop on the Reddit train when, you know, they were all investing in GameStop, and then everybody was super late, and then, you know, they're like, well, we could have made all this money if you had an index fund. It would have gone up either way. You know, if you were investing in other things, it would have gone up either way. The market is going to continue to do whatever it's going to do. So having
Yeah.
consistency and investing however you feel is going to be like most impactful for you, but also work for your budget. If you're like, hey, I'm only going to invest on the first and 15th 14th, whatever it is, do that, but do it consistently, because then you're going to be like, you're going to have that FOMO, like, well, I could have invested all of my money in the GameStop, and what if it didn't happen that way? You know,
Yeah.
like you could have lost everything. So consistency for me has always been the name of the game. Tesla's doing their thing with their investments, you know, but we can't predict that stuff. We can't predict it. So having a long term strategy is probably the best thing, like regardless of what's happening in the market.
So like what I've been ended up doing with the recent just growth and with a lot of few different avenues is actually taking some profit. A lot of people know I've talked a lot on this channel just being dollar cost averaging into the market. No matter what, my buying strategy is still the same, but I've now gotten to the point where even I'm like, let me at least start edging out some of these profits and just reallocating those funds to just different ways or rebuying right back in just to still take advantage of some of the bullish market that we are in. So it's also looking at where you're at and seeing where you're doing, because we've also seen a similar thing happening in even marijuana companies right now, with Tilray saying that they might be profitable in the next couple years, and short squeezers and things like that trying to go on. So even in those ways like that, I'm like, ooh, a little bit of profit here, let me take a little bit of that and re-put that money somewhere else just to see that. So you have the opportunity, no problem with go ahead and taking some profit and reallocating that money and those funds and doing things like that.
Again, it's moving money. It's
Yep.
moving money. I mean, that's the best thing that you can do. If you can take $100, flip it into 200, and then move that 200 and then split it into, like you still started with $100, but once that 100 turns into 1,000, you keep moving it around. It was just a seed of $100. So that's always the move. If you can have your money work for you without having to consistently throw more into it. Obviously, if you have an investment strategy that is put more in and consistently,
Yeah.
that's going to work for you. But you can still take some of that and move it somewhere else, so you don't have to consistently take money out of your pocket to put it in to the market. I know that scares a lot of people, where they're like, well, I just don't want to keep putting money in. Start with something and then
A
see
little
what
bit at a
that
time.
does. And then when it grows,
Yeah.
you take the profit and you put that somewhere else. So you really only started with 10, 15.
Diversification,
Yeah.
and don't put all your eggs in one basket. You want to put your investments and your assets in different ways that work for you in different ways and earn you money in different ways. A few people have been asking me, how do I get started? What should I use? What should I start off with? How can I do this thing? And I'm like, first figure out kind of who you are and what kind of strategy and what kind of risk level is best for you. Some people are more set it and forget it. Some people are very active and very good at watching and figure out the trends and all that. So that's a different kind of strategy for you. Figure out what's best for you and stick to that. Don't try to
Yeah.
follow everything and just hop in and out. If that's not the life for you, do not do it. It's a lot of work.
And the second thing that you should do is like, share, and subscribe. But while you're down there, there are references to different ways that you can make money and with Webull and with all our different. You can use our codes to actually give you free apps.
Yep.
I mean, free stocks, free money when you go onto these different apps. So that's free. So why not? I mean, you're going to end up putting a little bit in there, but you're going to sign up and you're going to get a free app. A free stock. I keep saying app. You can get a free stock. So you may hop in there and get free GameStop. You didn't have to put anything in there, and now you got $500. Boom, done.
Yep.
That's money. That's free money. So, what else? What else do we have going on? I mean, I know that there's a lot going on in the world of finance right now, but what does YBI have going on right now?
YBI's
Well, that we can share.
that we can
There's so
share for the
much
people.
that we can't
So
share.
we are going to I am going to be doing more in-depth things with you all. We're going to be setting up only in-depth kind of trade scenarios for you all with paper trading accounts, which is something which I believe I brought up on the channel before, but if I haven't, paper trading accounts are basically fake trading accounts. There's a few companies that set these up, but it's money you can try and play within the market, and they'll give you like a fake $1 million or whatever, and you can just play around with, but in a real kind of app. TD Ameritrade does it. Webull has it in there. So I know there's a Webull link down below. Check that out, and you can just hop on there and mess around and kind of try it out before you actually put your own money at risk. So we'll be trying some of that out with you all as well, and even showing some in depth for you guys too.
Yeah, we're trying to find ways to give you guys practical vision, or not vision, but a practical visual of what it is to, with the savings plan and with all these different apps that we're talking about. We're trying to figure out how Roman can do one strategy, how I can do another, but we can keep track of it over some time, because we want you guys to have some really practical information that you can use and say, oh yeah, what am I supposed to do on Webull? Come to this video and then click here so you can actually see how we trade and what our portfolios are doing over time. I think that's a really good way for you guys to that are one, scared and a little bit more timid about what it is that you're trying to do. That's how you can do it, is just watch somebody do it, and then you can emulate that for yourself. What else we got going on? I think that you
No,
guys need to go follow us. Go follow us,
on
because we are now
everything, on every social media if you haven't.
yeah, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're not on Snapchat, because we're busy, but we're on Clubhouse. So we're on Clubhouse now, so you guys can come and talk to us, ask us questions on Clubhouse. These are recorded that you're listening to right now, but if we're on Clubhouse, if we hop on there, that is the opportunity for you guys to ask us questions about whatever,
Talk
about
to
what our
us, talk
next
about plays
giveaway
we're
is.
making, even if it's just like some random advice or even just some random plays or whatever, even just techie things or sports things, whatever you guys got going on, talk to us about it on there.
Yeah,
We
we really are into a lot of different
Yeah.
things. Finance is the primary basis of the channel, but As you know, Roman is into music. He's a sound engineer. I'm into personal training, so I do personal training. I'm in a master's program for business. So we do a lot of different things. I'm an office manager. Like, we have our hands in a lot of different things. So we just know stuff, random stuff, and want to share. But this platform is not necessarily for that. But Clubhouse is going to be a better way for you guys to access us and be like, oh yeah, so what are you doing on Tuesday at 7:30? You trying to come hop on and talk to us about XYZ? Yeah, we probably will. We probably will. So yeah, that is in the work. That is in the work. Actually, no,
Oh,
it's live right
yeah.
now. We're on Clubhouse now.
Yep.
So
Yeah, by the time this video comes out, yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right, people. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for please supporting us. Like, share, and subscribe. As you guys already know, we may be young, we may be broke, but we are always investing. Thank you.
till next time, y'all.
Peace. Hey everybody, thank you for listening to Young Broken Investing. We just want to let you know that these are the opinions of the hosts, are not meant to be the basis of any security purchases or investments. We're trying to give a little information out there for everybody, and have fun and be safe.